Coming out. My ensuing date with Claire went fine, I assume. The memory of what we did escapes me, so it must have been just great. It probably involved getting ice cream or going to a soda shop. Wyatt doubled with me, having asked Harper out. I would imagine that the evening ended with a long and passionate goodnight kiss between me and Claire, because why not? We had already kissed. I walked to campus the next day. Heritage Halls was as close to campus as you could live without moving into the basement of the Fine Arts Center, which BYU legends claimed had been done. Heritage Halls was sandwiched between BYU campus and the MTC, where new missionaries trained before beginning their service to the church. On my short walk to campus, I ran through a mental list of assignments. My favorite class this semester was already shaping up to be biology, despite my major being business. The professor had told us on the first day in no uncertain terms that she was a biology teacher, not a religion teacher. She planned to teach us about evolution, whether we agreed with the concept or not, because that was science, and if nothing else, it would be on the test. Her only priority was our education. Her attitude toward the school fascinated me. While I valued the church and my faith, I already felt like an outsider amid the sea of students who seemed to be following God's plan for them with ease. I arrived at the JSB, a building on the south end of campus. Brick and glass made up the outside walls. A metallic art mural dominated the building's front side, featuring the building's namesake, Joseph Smith, receiving the first vision. My phone buzzed in my hand. Claire, hey, how would you feel about editing my creative writing assignment? I grinned. Having someone's attention like this was such a bizarre experience. People usually overlooked me, or made sure to turn me down before the second date. I never fully understood why, but I would play along with Claire. Something here was different. Me. Sure, do you have it finished? Claire. I think so? LOL. What do you mean by finished? Face with raised eyebrow emoji. Me. You have an ending? Claire. The best ending there ever was, haha. Me. Then sure. Claire. Party face emoji. Claire. Should we do that in person? I could email it. Me. Maybe send it to me first, and then we can meet up. Claire. Okie dokie. It's sent. Me. Got it. Claire. Any idea on when you could get together to talk about it? Me. I'll be in class until about 5. Would around then work? Claire. Sounds good. Smiley face emoji. Drop by whenever. Claire. Or I could drop by. Claire. Or we could both drop by somewhere else. Haha. Me. I'll come over when I get back. Claire. You got it. I went to class. On my way home, Claire texted again. Claire. We still having our editing party? Me. I'm walking back from campus now, so I'll stop by. Claire. Safe travels. I walked home and strolled into Claire's dorm, pushing the door open to permit myself. You needed a key card to get into the apartments at Heritage, but Claire forgot her card so often that her roommates had taped over the door's strike plate so it always remained unlocked. You came! Claire was sitting at the table and threw her arms up in celebration. So where do you want to start with this thing? I laughed at her enthusiasm, relieved and disappointed that she still liked me. I pulled out my computer and we began workshopping her play. It was a dull play about a breakup with a Twilight fanfiction vibe. I was 90% sure she had stolen the scenario from her past boyfriend, whom Claire informed me I was required to hate. It really annoys me when people write nonfiction about past relationships filled with undercharacterized perfect men. Maybe don't read too much into that paragraph. We finished the workshop. Claire moved in to kiss me. Do you want to go play the piano? I asked. You play the piano? Claire's face transformed like Christmas had been rescheduled for tomorrow. I nodded. We retired to the piano room. Every building in Heritage Halls had piano rooms for students to practice at their leisure. The rooms had carpeted walls and one window to permit a view inside from the hall. A laminated note by the light switch read, "Music rooms are for practicing music only." I sat on the bench. Claire sat beside me, so close she obstructed my ability to play. I did anyway. After I finished song number 2, Claire looked at me with wide eyes. Your attractiveness just went up by like 5 points. I started laughing out of pure awkwardness. She shut me up by sticking her tongue in my mouth. I stopped us, turning away and hoping to leave. Claire jumped back on my lips, exploring the crevices of my mouth. Claire wanted to talk that night. We walked westward together from Heritage Halls toward the Marriott Center. Between the Marriott Center and a faculty parking lot was a grassy area over which 2 looping bridges flew. A handful of couples were making out by the river under the bell tower. We passed under the bridges, then over. We looped back around and then walked through campus, circling the library. The pleasant September night breeze tousled my hair. I swept it out of my eyes. I really like you, Claire said during a lull in the conversation. Like, a lot. I balled my hands in my pockets, despite hers dangling beside me. My thoughts raced with panic. I admired Claire. Her affection toward me, while still perplexing, was a relief. I wasn't just some dismissible nobody, maybe. She liked me, saw the value in me. Still, entering a relationship felt more of a burden than something a rational person would do. What was wrong with me? This was my chance, but for some reason I couldn't take it. I didn't want it. I don't know if I'm ready to take this further. The words felt like a failure coming from my mouth. I had told myself I needed to date, but I never felt ready. Claire was silent for a time as we walked. She guarded her emotions, displaying neither hurt nor insecurity. Why not? I just don't think I'm ready to be in a relationship. That's the reason to get into a relationship. Claire gave an amorphous hand motion. It's about learning if you want to be with someone. You can't just wait to magically know if someone's right for you. Her words seemed reasonable, but she didn't understand. How could she? I needed to tell her. If anything were to happen between us, I wanted her to know. Only after could I feel okay starting a relationship with her. She needed to understand what she might be getting into. But I didn't have the social skills to communicate what I was trying to say. I was trapped in my mind with the knowledge, and I couldn't let it out. I said about 20 times. We meandered through campus for over an hour. My mind caught in an infinite loop. Looking back, it's almost amusing. Claire knew I had a reason for not wanting to date, but I couldn't articulate it. It was after midnight, which was permissible so long as we weren't in either of our apartments. The mountain darkened campus now that the sun was down. The white illuminated Y was the only light source on that black curtain under a starry sky. I watched it with a pained expression, afraid to look at Claire. Come on, John, Claire groaned. She called me John just like Wyatt did. I never liked the name. Too old. I'm sorry. A laugh escaped me at the ridiculousness of the situation. I sat on a garden wall with my gaze fixed on the library. Writing in a secluded corner while surrounded by books would have made for a better night. What is it? Claire shook her hands at me, her voice a playful growl. Just tell me. We sat for 15 minutes. No good. I stood, walking south toward the new animal science building. I started for what must have been the 100th time now. My breath shook. I could do this. Needed to do this. I'm sort of gay? Claire's mouth froze, half open. We were walking under the branches of a big-tooth maple tree by the learning center, lamps lighting our path. I saw many emotions pass over her face. Surprise was not one of them. A look of confirmation dawned on her, as if she had already begun to suspect in the last hour. She also looked amused, like coming out really should not have been so hard. A glimmer of hurt also passed over her face, as if she knew the struggles a relationship between us would incur. Her face cleared, and her following words were deliberate. How long have you known? My whole life, basically, I said. That's always one of the first questions people close to you ask when you tell them you're gay. It's like one day you decide you're attracted to men, and you haven't known your entire life. I've always known. It meant one day I would have to make a terrible choice. Claire tilted her head back in exasperation. Sheesh. Took you forever to say. I awkwardly laughed. It's not an easy thing to talk about. We were walking by the Wilk now, near the northwest door, surrounded by a courtyard of trees. We sat on a bench under a honey locust tree. The trees would drop these big seed pods that got kicked around and broken until the cobblestones were littered with seeds and pulp. I'm sorry. My hand twitched up to comb my hair. I had gotten her hopes up, and for what? She held my hand, fingers following the veins of my arm. She looked away from me, face twisting. I have a problem. I lifted my head, looking at her hazel eyes. Mild fear pulsed through me at her ominous response, but her voice was not hostile. What is it? She lifted her eyes to mine, holding my gaze. I love you.